Vehuel. Vehuel is a powerful angel. I am working with Vehuel, and let me read where my workings are. Hold on. I'm gonna go to page 157. This is of the 72 angels of Magick. The powers of Vehuel within this book are the powers to know another's thoughts, the power to calm an aggressive situation, the power to make somebody humble, and the power to dominate strong personalities. For me, my voice can be very soft-handed in situations, especially when dealing with adults. My children, I have to raise my voice, which still is too much for my character. For another thought, for another video on how to deal with children, but sometimes there are those very dominant personalities, those boisterous personalities, those personalities that are always super persuasive or trying to insist on their way, and I have been using Vehuel to make myself heard and to have influence. Now, the thing is that Vehuel, from what I understand, let me not get this wrong. Let me just deal with what I'm dealing with. Because I did further research on Vehuel, and it is different than what is in this particular book. Call on this angel to give you the power to dominate somebody with a strong personality, so that they hear you, respond to you, and are willing to let you take the lead in the situation. Okay. Now, what differs from the archangels is that if there is a situation like this, they will if the situation is right, they will do that for you. In these callings and invocations, it doesn't seem to matter which is where the offering is required. When I first started working with Vehuel, I thought my offering was going to be something different. And then I got the inkling to reconfirm and ask again. And how I ask is simple. It was like, does that offering still stand? Do you still want that type of offering? And if I get, like, I don't know if it's a premonition, but a thought to pop into my head of yes or no, basically, like my own mental pendulum, the answer was no. And then in my head I say, or out loud, okay, well, what do you want? And what was asked was something that I already do, so it was very easy for me to relinquish that. What I find is that when working with the secret angels of the universe, as it's called in this book, is that their offerings are mild for me, but I will get a notification if my offerings are not on time. And I think maybe I have to revisit how offerings work in this book, because maybe I'm not doing it right. Feeding the Angels, it's called. He talks about tithing, how this works in practice. But it's not like a requirement. But what I am finding is that when I do my sort of, I don't know, I would call it bibliomance, but my psalmsomancy, I get alerts like, hey, show up. So this is me showing up. There are so many gems, and I guess making somebody humble can sound crazy, but when you have to deal with someone that has a huge ego and you're a softer sort of person, it reads clearly. If you live or work with somebody who has a huge ego, it can affect your mood and the quality of your work and relationship. This angel can make an egotistical person humble. I wish I knew before. I wish I knew what I could do before, but I don't choose to time travel in this essence. I just want to make things simpler and easier. And I do have to say that I can sense that. And I can sense my voice being heard. So I am thankful for that. But this is my shout out to Vehuel. How do we spell that in real life? Because the spelling is always a little different. 157, enter. And the pronunciation, V-E, Hu, H-U-L-E-L, Vehuel. Such pretty names. Alright, I think that's all I got. Are you happy? Okay, adios.